Alright guys, this is my Troy-Bilt 21-inch self-propelled mower. It is a 6.75 horsepower. This mower is leaking oil like everywhere, okay? It was leaking it all on the side. I used the pressure washer and cleaned it off already because we're going to take this thing apart and we're going to see where it's leaking from, okay? The first thing we're going to do is take this bracket off. To take this bracket off, you just need anything. You can just press on it. You're going to push it, and then right when you push it, you're going to push off like this, hold it, and pull the whole thing off. Alright, so we got that whole thing off. Alright, you're going to pull this cable out right here, this handlebar. Just pull the cable out sideways, pull the whole thing out. Alright, then you're going to go down to the bottom right here, and you're going to take this loose. Just turn it, pull the whole thing out. Now the whole cable is loose. Okay, we got this whole cable loose. Right, now we can start taking the motor off. Alright guys, so the first thing you're gonna do is take this blade off. Okay, that blade nut is a 16 millimeter. So we're gonna take this off first. All right, take that off. Then after that, you're gonna take out this plastic cover right here. Right here in this corner is a 10 millimeter bolt. You're gonna take that out. That's the 10 millimeter bolt. And then these 3 bolts here are for the motor. You're gonna take this one with the bracket off first. You got one up here that's a bracket. You're gonna take this off. It is a 13 millimeter. You take that one off, you turn this straight, and just take it off like that. Okay, now you only have 2 more bolts holding this motor on. Okay, you're gonna take off this one, and then you're gonna take off this one. Okay, now I'm holding this motor from the back, but that's the whole motor. You're gonna take this belt off, put it to the side, and then you're gonna pull the whole motor out. Alright guys, so we flipped the motor over, and as you can see that all of this oil is coming out of the motor. You can see all that. Look at all that. Okay, now to fix this, what we're going to do is this part right here, this just pulls off. Okay, that just pulls right off. Should have a key in it. For some reason this one doesn't, but this is something used, and when I bolt it down, it should hold it to it. Now it's 7 bolts, 10 millimeter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 right here. They're 10 millimeter. You're gonna take those loose. Take that one, and then that one. So got all the bolts out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up on this cover right here. Okay, it's hard sometimes, and sometimes what you got to do is you have to use like a pry tool and kind of just pry on it. To get it, there it is. So this whole thing will come off. You can see, put this off to the side. We can already see just by looking at it. The gasket is actually broken. See this silver right here? Then it's black right here, black, then silver. It's a gasket that goes all the way around this. And you can see it on this too. So that's why it's leaking. And what we're gonna do is get all this clean, and then we're gonna put gasket maker on it to stop it from leaking. And you're gonna take like a little razor blade like this and just gonna scrape. You know, don't let nothing fall in the motor. But you're gonna try to scrape all of this off. All right, guys, so we got the motor all cleaned up. I used a grinder to get the rest of the gasket off. I just used a grinder. It was a lot easier than trying to use a razor blade. Now, I did use the razor blade for certain areas, but other than that. All right, so we're gonna use a little bit of this gasket maker here. I'm gonna put a thin layer around here, and then I'm gonna put a thin layer on the actual cover also. So all I'm gonna do is just rub this all the way down. Okay. All right, guys, so this is the cover, and like I said, I'm gonna put a thin layer on the cover also. All right, so we got that one evenly covered. All right, guys, so I'm gonna put the governor in. They call it the oil slinger too, but it's the governor. You're gonna slide it right over here, and then when you do, you're gonna make sure that this point right here is right up against this pedal. It needs to be on the pedal. Okay, see right here, it needs to be, this part right here needs to be on this pedal. All right, so to put this back on, this hole right here goes where this cam gear is. Okay, so it's gonna go like this. All right, I'm gonna put it on. Here we go. So we got that down, and what we're gonna do is gonna put the 7 bolts. I'm gonna put these 7 bolts back in. All right, got one here, one here, one here, one there, one here, there, and there. All right. These other 3 holes are for the bolts that bolted to the motor. So we're gonna put these down in a star pattern. All right, so tight. And one more just for good measure. All right, so This motor is down. You can see how the gasket maker is squeezing out a little bit. You want that, okay? This motor is not gonna leak anymore. I'm gonna let this sit for an entire day, and that's gonna make it so that when I put this full synthetic oil in it, it's not gonna leak. Basically, all we got to do is just put it back together. All right, guys. So we got the motor all patched up, and what we're gonna do is start putting it back together. We're gonna take this motor, pick it up, put it back through this hole. We're gonna rest it right here, and then we're gonna get our bolt. You're gonna get your bolt, and while you got that resting in there, you're gonna lift up, put your bolt in. All right, that bolt's in, it's holding it. You're gonna take your 13 millimeter and you're gonna put this bolt in first. That one's just holding it. Put this one in first and go down and put this one down here in. Okay. All right, we got those in. Now, while that's like that, go ahead and put this belt on. So you just put it on in the corner like this, and then just turn it. And there you go. So the belt's on. Now, since we got these two bolts in, we can take this bolt out. Now we're gonna put this black cover on, okay? These two contact points right here, the belt has to be in between it. So what we're gonna do is like a little piece of plastic right here. We're gonna take the belt and slide it over on that plastic. Then we're gonna push. Well, we're gonna turn this straight first. Then we're gonna put it behind this plastic. Now watch this. When I turn this, it's gonna pop back out. So get it straight, put it behind that plastic, slide this on, get it all the way on there, just like that. Now turn it. Now it popped back out, okay? So that's all you gotta do to get that on. Now, you take your last bolt, 13, put it in there. That one and one more here. Okay, that's tight. And then we're going to put a 10 millimeter small bolt back right here in the corner. Okay, all of that's done. All right, guys, so now we're going to put the blade back on. It is a 16 millimeter bolt. Put it on right here. Gonna put the bracket back on. Make sure that the little pins right here are in these holes. So put it on, then hand tighten it a little bit, then run it down. Guys, so we got everything back together. We fixed the oil leak and bolted everything back together. Up here at the top, when you put the cords back on, you just snap it back in right here and make sure that this little ball point is sticking out, and then put this back through and put this back on, and then that's it. Okay. All right, this is JOATD and I'm out.